and growth. And I'm beginning to understand that all of these upheavals are significant, both for the damage that they do, as well as the forcing of a shift into growth and curiosity once the dust settles down. It's like, I had an upheaval. What did that mean? That something was happening that wasn't right, and something happened that kind of had to happen or happened, and it is what it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is Julie Hasselberger here, and this is the Adapted Life Finding Next. And it is the end of July. Today is July 29th, and it is hot as can be. So I apologize that my air conditioner is buzzing, but its heat index is like 105. And I have an old house and it gets really hot really fast. So I just want to welcome you back. I am here just having turned 59 years old on the 27th. And on July 8th, I had back surgery. Wow, right? Like after 8 years or so, I'm struggling from an accident. I finally had lumbar, what do they call it? Lumbar, I don't know, lumbar spinal fusion of my L4, L5, little screws and things are in there. And yeah, for the first time in so long, I have no sciatic pain, and it feels like a million pounds has just been lifted off of me. I feel so happy to be living without that kind of pain. But I am recovering, and it is about a 6-week, like minimal activity kind of situation. And this is week 3. So yeah, once I got through the initial post-surgery stuff, I did start to feel better where I could walk around and I could get up on my own without John having to like help me hoist up. And yeah, he's just been great. He's been taking care of me left and right. So no complaints there. But back at the end of June, I was in California right before I had surgery. We had my daughter's bridal shower in San Diego, and we had like lots of fun. It was really fun. Um, and yet, as I was traveling, is when I started writing this episode, and I hadn't gotten back in here to the podcast in a while, and I just had my intuition said to me, "Okay, what are you going to do today, Julie? How about you just like watch Love Island for 4 hours and like eat junk food?" And I said, "No, that's not good." And oh, so how about you? Remember you wrote that episode when you were on the plane? Why don't you do that? And I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that feels a little more nurturing." So here I am. So I was basically reflecting on my journey through losing my son, Daniel, back in January of 2024, and some other trauma, like relational trauma, that's been significantly an impact on my life. Just all these things all merged up, causing me to fall into what they call complex PTSD. I have ADHD, officially diagnosed now. A lot of other issues. It still feels like Daniel died yesterday. So I'm still processing like who I am. And that's because I took care of him for 24 hours a day, basically for his entire life of 26 years, lovingly and willingly learning how to figure it out. That's why I created the Adaptive Life, to connect with other people who have had their original intention of life upended and completely changed due to having a child with severe disabilities. So, yeah, I am upended again and still in the pile of rubble, trying to follow what comes next. And I always feel like I lean towards the inward path when I'm seeking guidance. And I think that think that's really, really cool. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And that's really the gist of it. I am not an expert or a psychologist, or I don't really know all of the ins and outs of everything I'm going to talk about, but this is my experience and what has helped me at this point. And I'm learning things like every day. I'm in a lot of groups and support groups, and I read books, listen to podcasts. I have a lot of new friends, and most of them are within the circle of similar occurrences in life right now, because people don't, a lot of times it's hard to connect to people who don't really understand the depth of what you're going through. So you got to find your tribe. Anyhow, this is episode 33, just reflections on, going inward in trauma and things that just kind of came to me when I was flying home, preparing for surgery, thinking about, journeying through these complexities of trauma and healing. It really is basically a lesson on how to balance this tightrope of equanimity, of finding that balance in life, and wobbling back and forth and having all kinds of thoughts in your mind overtake the reality of your authentic self, and then you go back and forth. And that's kind of what happens to me, is I get lost up in the bad stuff, and I can't stabilize, or just I get dysregulated and I can't focus. So I did a meditation recently on self-realization, and I do meditations every day, but this particular author described what self-actualization is, and I really liked how he did that. And it was basically like the real authentic self is separate from your thoughts and patterns that have developed over the course of your lifetime as a person. So because we're not that, we are not all of those things. We're not all those patterns. We're not the things that we do, the people we're with, how we feel about circumstances, our political opinions, all of that. But that's not who we are. Those are just things that have been created in our mind based on outward influences and what we've been taught, right? Patterns and things that have happened in your lifetime. What we actually are is what our birthright is. And that is who we are when we are absent of all of those thoughts and patterns and interferences from our mind. It is when we live from the heart that we are really who we are, connected to higher source, just pure love, light, and in the moment self. The heart is actually our connection, our bridge to higher source. And the heart exists and controls the creation of the brain. So the heart comes first, So the heart is the boss, not the brain, not the head. The head is the computer. The brain is the computer, rather. It takes what we learn and it creates the ways that we do things. And it's all based on information and experiences that happen to us. And so it might be doing something, making you afraid because it wants to keep you safe. But that particular situation might not exist anymore. But you still feel that way, and you think that is who you are, but it might not be, right? So it's not the brain that says this is who you are. I mean, it's nice to have a beautiful mind. They talk about this a lot in higher thought processes, the beautiful mind, which is the one that is created to connect with the heart. But anyway, in stillness is where we connect to who we are, who our soul is, what we're made to be. And it's where we learn how to just breathe and just let the thoughts go. Thoughts are always going to go. They are a part of who we are. But learning how to let them go and just see that we can just be in existence without them is who we are. There really is nothing except the present moment, and this is what I hear a lot. The past is a construct, the future is a construct, right? They don't really exist. All that really exists is like what's happening in this exact moment. As my hand is moving, as I'm sitting here, as I'm talking, as I'm, looking around. This is the exact thing that is real. So it's in this moment, present moment, that we can expand our consciousness to be able to observe things, right? And to be able to forgive, and to be able to have gratitude, and to be able to write and process and think and flow and create and be. It's, I don't know, it sounds really simple, but I've met people recently who are just like, what are you talking about? Like, they have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, no, present moment, in all healing modalities that I keep finding myself in, there seems to be an element of peace and growth in the present moment, of stillness, and the path inward being the path to longevity and health and greater abundance, right? I wrote this meditation, I wrote this podcast episode when I was in California still, and I was sitting on the little deck that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. It was really beautiful, and there were hummingbirds going in and out of this bush, and I remember I'm writing here, I'm like, I'm watching the hummingbirds. I'm counting the palm trees that are lining the road. I'm looking at the clouds. I'm watching a boat that's in the distance over on the ocean. We were in Sunset Cliffs, California, close to San Diego. It was really, really nice. Anyways, I was in the present moment. Every morning I would sit out there and just like be in it. And I remember all those details. I really focused on just taking it in with gratitude. And now I have such beautiful memories, and then I journaled it all, and I love that. So tools that I've been working on, and I started listing them, for the better part of, like, I don't know, the last year, especially the last 8 or 9 months. And then some of these go back even further. I think I started meditating after my mom died in like January of 2022, because I was really feeling lost. But that's when I developed a practice, like as like a sacred ritual practice. So my tools are meditation and gratitude work and journaling and exercising. I started with working out with a trainer, taking care of myself, doing a little yoga, praying, being in nature. Art work has really been a huge part of my um, present focus and healing. Art meaning just watercolor painting, and honestly, these shells that I started with Daniel before he passed away, and then just continued making these decorative oyster shells. And when I sit down there in my little workshop where I used to work with Daniel, I just feel really connected to him and peaceful. So I just keep going. I think I might have made like a lot of shells. John's always like, what are you doing? You got to sell the ones you have. And I'm like, I will, but I got to make more. So I'm always creating new designs or like experimenting. It's just fun, and it's helping me to like just kind of begin to grow a little bit more each day. I love music, listening to music. I have a flute here. I play sometimes. I played years ago, but I'm I've reacquainted myself with it. So I'll sit here and do some work and play. And I love that. I love finding my way back to playing music, because people who are musicians, they know the secret. Like, the music really is the language of the soul, and um, it's a great way to be present and mindful. And so, yeah. Another thing that's helpful is caring for plants. If you're feeling really anxious, like, you just slow down. I got orchids over there. I've got all kinds of succulents and air plants. I can't see any of them in this picture behind me. They're in the corners, but I take care of them and I love them. And I have some fun with that. I never used to love plants the way I do now. I love animals in general, especially Henry and Holly and Theo, my cat. Right now, Henry is on my foot with his little paws, sort of hugging my ankle. It's, loves me. Um, I like to do things like making sure I set an intention every day, something that is like compassionate and purposeful. I set affirmations, and those are just affirming the things that I'm going to do. And used to do this a lot more, but vision boarding was really something I loved to do because I believe in abundance and, you know, abundance manifestation and the importance of visualizing things. However, after Daniel died in 2024, I haven't really done a vision board since. But I wrote it down because it's something I want to eventually start doing again. I'm just I'm just not I'm not able to do it without still feeling this confusion about what life is now and what it's going to be. I'm getting there, but with you know doing vision boarding also comes goal setting and developing plans and strategizing and getting things done. Some of those things are not easy when you're in trauma and you have to take baby steps because I can't think that far ahead when I'm trying to heal something that has to be dealt with. Um, it just feels like it's just not in the right progression. But yeah, and I love practices that involve manifesting and financial learning and developing goals and working on health because my health is important because it's not good. It got really bad. I didn't take care of myself for a long time because I was 24/7 taking care of my son and the stress built up and I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. Um, so overcoming trauma is definitely a work in progress. Learning to live with grief is also a work in progress. Having your entire world shattered into a heap of burning coals and lies is catastrophic, but it also opens the door to complete healing and hopefully new perspectives, shifting in new ways, expanding in other ways, um, and growth. And I'm beginning to understand that all of these upheavals are significant, both for the damage that they do, as well as the forcing of a shift into growth and curiosity once the dust settles down. It's like, I had an upheaval. What did that mean? That something was happening that wasn't right, and something happened that kind of had to happen or happened, and it is what it is. Regardless, it happened. And so now things are not the same. So I have to accept that change is always present. So sometimes you have to face your biggest pain and your biggest fear, and you got to walk right through it, right? So then you go in and you bond with your inner warrior self, right? And you just suck it up because the only way to getting past this level of pain, like the intense pain, is by getting to the other side of it. If you stay behind it, you're just going to try to find ways to make yourself feel better that don't involve um, fully getting to the other side of it and healing it, understanding it, and finding a way to move forward. I think a lot of people find ways to self medicate their pain and numb their pain and try to stay stuck where they were. And it's uh, it's usually not good. Trying to keep myself on track. But you need to dig into your gut to find the strength that you think you don't have, right? And then you got to yeet your butt right in front of that strength, like, and just do it. So I'm kind of in this in between right now. I keep saying that, but yet I know that life is fleeting and time runs out in the physical world for all of us, right? Like we just don't know. And whatever purpose I find next, even right now, I want it to leave something behind or to have a ripple effect or to just give back somehow for the greater good of the collective whole. I want to be a part of that. I want to share something that might encourage somebody else to feel like they can also be their best self and work on it. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet because I still feel pain. But I just want to try to encourage other people and keep listening to my intuition. At the moment, I'm still choking down grief um, every minute of every day. I choke on it and I'm trying not to die sometimes. Like it feels like that, like survival. But somehow, what resonates most when the storms clear is that vital and precious truth that I find over and over in the present moment. It's just like always there. Um, and holding deep gratitude and reverence for that. Boy, sometimes all I really have to hang on to is that and gratitude for that and gratitude for the beauty and the gifts that I see and I feel and I experience there in the present moment, right? And the people in it and all of those things, right? So sometimes this transformative journey I'm on, it all just kind of starts to feel a little confusing. And I need to just close my eyes and go to sleep because, um, yeah, because I probably just need to heal and my heart and my brain and my everything. So I think I'm beginning to get it. I read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, and I'm like, there is no future. Time does not actually exist. It is a construct around our that we wrap around our abilities. But in reality, the only reality is simply the right now, right? So notice, accept, be present. This is your one precious, beautiful moment right now. Every moment should matter. Uh, but, all we take with us when we die is just love and light. And then our light goes out because it goes with us. It's all we come into the world with. It's what we're created from and for. I mean, I say it all the time. Love is the most important thing in the universe. Love is all that matters. Like that is all that matters. It should be, right? Technically is kind of what we get. Where we put our focus on, what we choose to do, our actions, our focus, our entire direction and choices. It's where our life will lean and how our brain will process in that little computer brain. I've been in the depths of despair, and then through learning how to like meditate and manifest, I definitely have received miracles that increased in abundance the more I learned how to manifest to different levels. So I don't know. There's definitely something to it. Like the feeling of it is just so beautiful. And honestly, like just meditation and being still is just a tremendous tool for calming your dysregulation, your nervous system, getting your heart rate down, like just breathing. Like, I don't think there's a doctor anywhere who will tell you that, oh, yeah, meditation is bad for you. No, it's definitely helpful. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 1 minute, right? It helps you. Since the past few months, I've definitely had like a lot of insanity. Like I'm dealing with complex PTSD and ADHD, and my fibromyalgia is like awful. It's all like connected. Like I'm losing it. So I'm always trying to find things that help me to feel less intensely stressed. And these things do. So I think early on, even like in the Daniel days, I started to feel like abundance definitely worked greater than negativity. The mentality of, focusing on making things happen positively really helped me survive. And if constantly saying, I can't, it's too expensive, it's too hard, there isn't anything, nothing will help me, no one's doing this, no one's doing that. And I did my share of that. But trust me, he's not getting this, he's not getting that. I don't know, but when I positively manifested is when I found resources and when I found enough care and when I found ways to do things, places to go, funds and organizations to help, like a new way of looking at things, whatever it was. And honestly, you can't find the path to abundance and, you can't achieve abundance if your mindset is locked on non abundance. Like, I can't, I won't, I don't have enough, I'm afraid. And, fear is the opposite, and it will constrict things rather than expand things. So it's just a mind shift perspective. And there are like a zillion books on, positive thinking and Mindfest. That's a new one. Go to the Mindfest. No, it's, yeah, abundance mentality and all of that. So yeah, why do people still sit in suffering? I don't know. Why are people so negative and mean and cruel and critical and hard and awful? It's why I don't put the TV on anymore. I stopped watching TV because I can't take it anymore. I'm like, there's no value in it. Anyways, I choose my own path now, is what I'm saying. So are people going to just be in that lack mentality until they die? Yeah. A lot of people never really have that self actualization where they even feel what that feels like. Um, so I guess I didn't really know this early on, but maybe I did know this early on. I don't really know. I've always sort of been a seeker. Um, Anybody can be a seeker. You don't have to be. But the whole point of this is just trying to share my reflection on how some of these things have gotten to be not just something I'm interested in, but like the medicine for my trauma. It's how I'm surviving the cataclysmic loss of my son, uh, and how I'm turning things around in my relationship and in my world that is very confusing. I'm trying to declare who I am, what my birthright is, and that I deserve more and everything that I'm worthy of. Like, I'm not going to settle. When I'm complaining, stressing out, crying, being depressed, I don't focus on my strength and my gifts and leaning into my intuition. So I'm teaching myself to live from my heart, even after all that I've been through. I'm a survivor. You're a survivor. We're all surviving. That's what we do after we're born, right? Adapting and changing is how we evolve. So I don't know much more than that. I am learning. I am a student of transformation and awakening. Resisting, to me, it feels like insanity, because I think every part of existence is changing every second. We're energy. Everything's made out of energy. Energy is always changing. Just ask the physics people, right? Like, if you can't stay focused in the present moment, you're not going to hear the orchestra of life that's going on in front of you, in the real now, like the now that is now, right? So as I'm kind of working through a lot of these problems, through a lot of therapy too, uh, I'm starting to feel closer and closer to myself, and feeling warmer about that, and healing my own inner child, and like doing my own inward path. So the last element I want to add to this discussion, yeah, is the whole energy and vibration thing, right? Your vibration and your energy that your soul emits is how you transcend these difficulties. And we can choose how to figure out the best way to vibrate at a higher level and create a more positive energy force, you know? everybody has a different energy that they emit. So it's like any other energy in the law of physics, and like, what is your energy level? And I didn't know that energy has so many different elements to it with people, right? I actually love learning about human energies. And I've only recently learned, friends, that not everybody sees colors around people. I do. Do you? Like, I thought everybody did. I don't see it all the time. It's usually when I'm in a very intuitive state and I'm, very, very open and in a very calm, loving state. I can really pick up on energy, and I do it everywhere I go too. Sometimes, like, I'll be in a restaurant and I'm like, oh, that person's depressed. Like, and John will say, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know. They just have a funny color. And he's like, honestly, I don't know what the colors are. I know that today, when I looked at mine just a few minutes ago, I'm looking at it now. It's still like a purplish color. This morning, when we were sitting downstairs, John's was like a yellowy orange light color. I don't always see them, but I do sometimes. And I didn't know that everybody else did. So I'm trying to learn more about it. I'm going to go to, I found a wellness center that focuses on different modalities, Reiki and energy healing and things like that. So she's going to do a consultation with me because I want to learn more about those kinds of things. So yeah, that was very intuitive of me. Um, yeah, how cool is that? Like, honestly, if you see auras, I would love to meet you because did I always do that? I don't know, but I don't know what the colors mean. So that's something I want to learn more. And I do know, friends, that in life, it's not a surprise that stress and being in this high state of fight and flight, and it ages us, it makes us sick, it keeps us in addiction, it hurts us, it hurts the people around us. All of these negative choices that we make are not loving, intuitive, higher source focused, high energy things. So why not try to live from a heart space, right? Figure out, affirm what you believe you are worth and what you deserve and what you what you have for your birthright. Like, don't let anybody put you down and hold you back and hurt you and abuse you. Like, don't settle for your breadcrumbs. Like, take the whole cake, the whole loaf of bread and run with it, right? I know. I'm such a weirdo. I'm really a weirdo. I'm okay. I like being weird. So anyway, I'm in the middle of such a personal crisis right now that I go like this. I go back and forth, and I'm like, uh, but it really is perfectly okay to be wherever you are, whoever you are, at all times. You are okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, when I do go into the not okay places, I usually do emerge back into my spirituality, stillness, creativity, focus, love, gratitude, processing grief, developing healthy boundaries, listening to my intuition, and just trying to understand who I am now that my life has changed. And it's what I enjoy doing right now because I can't really say that I can't do much of else, but I'm sort of in limbo. But I do feel like my son's presence resides with me when I'm completely in the present moment. I feel him, and I do feel like he wants me to be happy and to share love and to find purpose and to give to others and like just to be me. And uh, yeah, I do. I feel the spirit um, of God, the angels, my ancestors, those who have left me, always within some of my deep stillness meditations, or sometimes I do some where they kind of teach you how to like connect with people in the from the other places, and I do that too. But I like knowing that I can feel his spirit when I'm at my best or my worst by just calming down and being still and just asking him to come to me. So, you know. Anyways, just going to wrap it up here. This is just sort of a little life lesson and reflection from somebody who is in trauma, in grief, having a good afternoon. So, deciding to share that if you are in the crappy place also of being trapped in pain and trauma and trying to heal yourself, you know what? I'm right there with you. And the effects of the bad things that happen to us and stay with us, right? But if we can shift ever so slightly towards putting our energy into self-care and self-love, right? Of being present, of feeling grateful, focusing on what serves us most, using our creativity to express it. Like we just might see something expanding in our life that it just reveals to us a little bit more of goodness and love that is ours and is right there. We just couldn't see it because the window was really small, and now the window's getting bigger and we can see more, see more possibilities into whatever's on the other side. So I'm sending you and 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 you all of my best wishes and love and a hand to hold, on your own journey. I want to thank you for listening and thank you for caring and encourage you to keep coming back and staying connected on your own journeys. I love to share and encourage others. So just by doing this podcast helped me to expand a little bit more today. So I'm grateful in my own present moment for all of you. Yeah, may you have a day of blessings, and may you too find the tools that you need to take your power back and, be the best that you can be. And you can get through it. If I can get through it, we can find that quiet place where we just feel the love of our heart. It does make a difference. So I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.